Hello, everybody. My name is Joshua Four, and today I'm going to be talking to you about the phylum Molluscula. The kingdom that they are part of is Animalia. The phylum name is Molluscula. There are 7 different classes: Alloplacophora, Monoplacophora, Polyplacophora, Bivalea, cephalopods, gastropods, and Sacrophopoda. Examples of these animals is seahorses, clams, oysters, squids, octopus, and mussels. Some, some interesting facts are they are the second largest phylum in the animal kingdom, and there are over 160,000 living species today, and 35,000 in the fossil record. Some examples of each of the 7 classes are Monoplacophora, like this, is a cone-shaped shell with a bilateral symmetry, and is fewer than 10 species alive today. An example of one of those species is Neoplenia galathae. The next one is Alloplacophora. They are shellless mollusks like this, with a calcium carbonate spine and with scales in the epidermis. They have a radula, or tiny teeth if you want to call them that are used for grasping, biting, and eating. Next up is gastropods. They are single shell based like this, which is snails, slugs, all that stuff, which are both freshwater and saltwater, and land based, and also there's freshwater and limpets. Here's another showing of the shells. Their habitats is gardens to deserts, mountains to valleys, rivers to lakes, and oceans. Most gastropods have a one-piece shell, like I showed you before, including another one like this. Most gastropods have no sense of smell, but they do have a heightened sense of hearing. Bivalves. They are mollusks with 2 shells, an outer shell like this one, and then an inner shell. There's clams, scallops, oysters, and mussels. This is an oyster. And some bivalves are even edible, and they're considered to be delicacies, even in France. Cephalopods, which includes squids and beautiful-looking octopus like this one. The cephalopod is a class of mollusks that are considered to be the most intelligent invertebrates, and an important example of advanced cognitive amongst animals in general. Without exception, all cephalopods are active predators and have the ability to locate and capture prey, and often demands some sort of reasoning of power. Polyplacophora, which is chitons and sea slugs like this one. They come in all sorts and shapes and sizes and colors. And then Scaphopoda is a tusk-type shell, like this. It has 2 shells. There's an outer shell, and then an inner shell. An example is an aquatic hermit crab. Their type of locomotion, the way they move around. Some mollusks that live on land and some that live in water have a foot or use the secretion of slime to move around. Some of them that live in the water send out water to propel themselves to move forward and backwards. Digestion. It starts in the mouth, goes down the esophagus, then to the crop, then to the stomach, and afterwards to the intestine, and then it ends at the anus. Their soft bodies include a lung or gills for breathing. The digestive and reproductive parts are all enclosed by a skin-like organ. The excretory system of mollusks is made up of tubular organs called nephridia that filter waste from internal body fluids. Waste generated by cells within the organism is dumped into the quum, the fluid-filled internal body cavity. The nephridia are small tubes that are often open into the quum. The reproductive system. Snails have both male and female reproductive organs, but their eggs must be fertilized by another snail. Once their eggs have been fertilized, they either float freely in the water or they go underground. Very few of the eggs actually live and survive to become an adult mollusk. All of the mollusks have either male or female reproductive organs of a species. The nervous system. They have very little brain function and they only have two nerve cords. The molluscan nervous system consists of a pair of ganglia and nerve cords with statocytes, which balance organs, and eyes as a major sense of organs. Mollusks include the largest and smartest invertebrates, known as the octopus. Snails and slugs have a cluster of ganglia, which is a bundle of nerve cells, which in many species are fused into a single organ. Cephalopods have a highly developed central nervous system that enables them to navigate a maze, use tools, mimic other species, and learn from each other and solve complex problems. The importance. They are used by some cultures for medicinal purposes. Some are even used to help indicate medical issues. The primary use that humans have for mollusks and the rest of the ocean-living animals is their ability to filter large quantities of water of up to 10 gallons each. Mollusks are among the most diverse and abundant animal groups, inhabiting many aquatic and terrestrial environments. They are important to the ecosystem engineers, helping to structure the aquatic biome environments and providing habitat protection to a wide variety of other taxa. The marine mollusks are very important since many of them are used as food, and they also have other uses such as crafts and making dye cotton and yarn and clothes, etc. Species of bivalves are often used as gauges to detect pollution in levels in aquatic environments as they filter feed any toxin as they accumulate any toxins or heavy metals that are present in high concentration in the water. Mollusks are important in a variety of ways. They are used as food, decoration, jewelry, and in scientific studies. They are even used as a roadbed material in vitamin supplements. Two natural products of mollusks are used for decorations and jewelry, like pearls and nacre over some other pearls. Many are edible and as a food source for humans and other animals. The threat. Some mollusks are harmful to humans. For example, some cone-shaped ones, like this one, inject a deadly toxin. Others, like many land snails and slugs, are major pests of crops and shipworms. A burrowing bivalve can weaken and eventually destroy the hulls of wooden ships in wars. Zebra mussels are a major threat to the Great Lakes and Mississippi River. Zebra mussels are an invasive species that introduced sometime around 1986. They most likely arrived in the United States as freshwater ballast on board a commercial ship. They now widely inhabit the Great Lakes and down the Mississippi River, and also they moved into the St. Croix River. They don't seem to be able to be killed without killing other beneficial species. They are only killed so far with pesticides. Zebra mussels are filter feeders that eat so ferociously that they remove so much food so quickly that there is no food that so quickly from the food web that they've effectively starved native fish and other wildlife. They kill the native mussels and other wildlife that are cleaners of the body of water, which often causes the water to be uninhabitable. They also leave behind razor-sharp shells that do damage to boats, hulls, and other watercraft and intake valves along the Great Lakes. Now, this is a public service message. Whenever you have a watercraft or any flotation device that was used in a zebra mussel infected body of water, always make sure you clean and check every surface and remove any zebra mussels before transporting your watercraft to another body of water that has not yet been infected with these mussels. And thank you for watching.